today I'm back to film my July favorites. I'm really excited that July is over. It has just been a really busy, chaotic month, and a very long one too, surprisingly. But I'm excited because August kind of has some changes. For example, I am changing jobs. I am still going to be working for Ulta, but I am changing what store I'm going to be at. I'm transferring to a store that is opening that's going to be a lot closer for me. And also my position is changing a little bit too. So the position I'm taking will have a little less hours. It'll probably be a lot less stressful for me as well. So I'm really excited about that because I think that'll mean I'll have more time for YouTube, more time for family, you know, just kind of all around better. I am a little nervous because, you know, less time equals probably a little bit less money, but I'm, you know, just like I said, I'm excited to be able to actually spend time with my family. And I mean, I work a lot of days and sometimes a lot of days in a row, and it can be a bit much. So I'm kind of excited for a little bit of a change. But anyways, on to favorites. So this last month, one of the big things that we kind of did this month was my boyfriend and I went to Chicago to a concert. It was a band that we've already seen 2 or 3 times, but every time that we've seen them, they haven't been the headliner, so they only play for like 30 to 45 minutes and then they were done. And that was okay. Like, I got to see kind of songs that I wanted to see, but there were more that I didn't get to see that I wanted to see. So going to see them as the headliner in Chicago was like a dream come true. Like, I was literally so happy and so excited, and I literally felt like I was just in a trance or something the whole time. The whole thing was just so surreal. And then like when it was over, I was like, wait, what? It's over? But they played for like 2.5 hours, so I can't complain. That was a pretty long time compared to what I've got to see them in the past. And it was at the House of Blues in Chicago, so it just made it that times 10 like more magical. It was a really great show, and I was super happy. But obviously, since we went to Chicago, I brought makeup and kind of put some products to the test. So one of the big ones this month was the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. And I ordered this a few days before we went, maybe like a week before we went, and I think I got it like 1 or 2 days before we left. I got it really close to when it was time to go, and I was excited because pretty much every review or every video on YouTube that I had looked up about this, I was like just blown away by what people were saying. And at the point that I had bought this, it was only online. It did come out in stores a little bit later, but I bought mine online, and I agree with pretty much every review. It is fantastic. Tati/Glam Life Guru, her video of this is just pretty much spot on. But kind of the reason that I love it, it is the perfect like in between of every foundation that you would probably ever want. So I feel like it really does cover almost every skin type, because for me, this foundation, when I put it on, it does have like a little bit of a glow to it. But if I put powder on top of it, it still has a little bit of a glow, but it's not as crazy of a glow. But it controls my oils, but it doesn't dry out my skin. It's just, like I said, kind of perfect in between. So it has coconut water to replenish your skin's moisture levels. It has alpine rose to brighten skin's appearance and promote elasticity, and it also has hyaluronic acid for a smoother, more youthful appearance. Hyaluronic acid is actually in a lot of moisturizers as well. So I know, for example, Neutrogena just came out with one a little while ago that has hyaluronic acid. And hyaluronic acid is just basically going to keep any moisture in, and it's also supposed to kind of pull moisture in from the air around you. So it's supposed to be another kind of really moisturizing ingredient. But like I said, on me, it can be not a super matte foundation, but it's like mattifying enough that it controls my oils really well. And it like doesn't dry out my skin like some mattifying foundations can. Maybelline, the Fit Me Matte and Poreless one, it can be a little too mattifying at times. And this is just that perfect in between. It's mattifying, but it's not too mattifying, and I don't know, I just really like it. So the other thing I really like about it too is that it has really nice full coverage. I was actually probably the most blown away about that more than anything else, because I put some on and I was like expecting it to be, I don't know, kind of what a lot of my foundations are. They're full coverage, I would say, or like maybe medium to full coverage, but they, like, my freckles still show through, and I mean, I'm fine with my freckles, but sometimes it is nice to just have like almost like a blank slate. It's just, I don't know, what I really like sometimes, especially with more dramatic looks, that's what I really like. And this kind of, like, my freckles were still there, but it covered them more than most foundations would. So that really surprised me. That and just how lightweight it was kind of the other thing. It doesn't really feel like you have makeup on. Unless you're starting to get kind of sweaty, then I feel like then we kind of all start to feel our makeup. But for the most part, from what I remember, I've never really got that sweaty, but I never felt it. And that's kind of another huge plus, is that it just doesn't feel like you have anything on. So this is kind of what the actual packaging looks like. It's got a cap and a pump. The only thing is I think the shades are a little scary, or they can be a little hard to match. For a particular, I got the ivory shade, but they did have one in porcelain. Ivory was the like fairest yellow tone shade, and porcelain was a little bit more pink, kind of neutrally colored. And I actually kind of swatched them two like next to each other yesterday, and I think porcelain is like just a hint darker than ivory. Or at least it did look that way on my skin when I just swatched it on my hand. But when I first pumped this product, I was kind of freaked because I don't know, I'm gonna show this and hopefully the camera will pick it up, but it is really yellow. So I pumped it out on the back of my hand when I first went to use it, and I was like, whoa, like this might not work. Like, it's really, really yellow, and I don't want to look like I have like jaundiced skin. And even there, just blending out a little bit, you can see it's still really yellow. But if you actually like blend it out and like really blend it out, it's there, but like you can barely see it. So it ends up working out once it's really blended out, but I know for some people it didn't work at all. Sparkage had posted a picture like on her Facebook page that she was gonna do like a review or like first impressions on this, and she must have grabbed the ivory shade because she's like, look at the before and after, and her face was so yellow. And I'm assuming it was because she grabbed the ivory shade, and maybe it was just too yellow, but yeah. Like I said, for some reason some of the foundation shades don't work for people, but this one worked for me. So I really enjoyed that, and it's been kind of my new holy grail foundation. So the only other foundation product I kind of have is this one. This one I placed a couple of Sephora orders and I got a sample of it. And then the day that I tried it out, I happened to wear it swimming, and I just really liked it. So it's the Dr. Jart Plus Beauty Balm BB Dis-A-Pore. This, I don't know, it just really surprised me because I kind of got a bunch of BB cream samples and I was like, oh, I'm looking for a new BB cream. I'm not really expecting any of them to match because I'm so fair. That's kind of the one issue I seem to have a lot with like tinted moisturizers and BB creams, is that they're too dark. So the Tarte BB Tinted Treatment Primer has kind of been my favorite one just because it's the one that matches me, and I do like it for other reasons, you know. It's kind of a mousse, it's got good coverage, it fills in my pores nicely. But I decided to try this one, and I really just squeezed it out of the package quick and threw it on because we were going swimming, and I think I had like 15 minutes before we were leaving. So I just kind of threw it on, and I was actually surprised by how well it matched, which really surprised me. But when I put it on, I had like this beautiful glow to my skin, and I looked poreless, which is like, that never happens. Like, I either look glowy and you can see my pores, or I look poreless but I'm like super matte. Like, it just doesn't usually work both ways. So this I was really like instantly obsessed with, and it actually like moisturized my skin really nicely too. But the one downside is that they only have one like universal shade, I think, for pretty much every BB cream they have. So you can kind of see there just a little bit of like glowiness where I put it. I don't know, I'm obsessed because it fills in the pores so well, but like I said, it moisturizes really nicely. So that is like my holy grail BB cream right now. Plus I love that this is a 1.7 ounce, like it's huge. So it's the same price as my Tarte BB one, but I get like way more product with it. So this might actually be kind of replacing my Tarte BB primer. The only thing is I might keep the Tarte one just for like powder foundations as a primer to put underneath, because I think that I probably won't like wearing this with powder foundations. I don't want to say it's thick because it kind of just feels like a moisturizer, but it does kind of feel like a thick, like rich moisturizer. So I wouldn't really want to put a powder on top of it necessarily, like a powder foundation, which can get a little heavy. So I think that this is probably something I'd wear more with just a setting powder because it does have really good coverage as well. That was the other thing that blew me away, was it had really good coverage. So I'm kind of obsessed with that. A lot of times when I look at BB creams and tinted moisturizers, this is kind of the issue I have. They have a good coverage, which then they just end up feeling really thick and like a foundation, or they're a little more lightweight, but then the coverage just isn't there. And this is kind of that nice in between because it's lightweight, but it actually has good coverage. So I don't know, I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting it to have that good of a coverage. Even if it just would have been medium to light coverage, I think I would have been okay with it. But a lot of BB creams and tinted moisturizers, they're just very sheer. They're not even, in my opinion, light coverage, they're just sheer. It's just a little tint of color, and it's just a very small tint of color, and then just moisturizer. So anyways, I really enjoyed that one, and I kind of want to try out some of the other ones, but I know the Dis-A-Pore one is just my all-time favorite right now. So next I'm going to talk about brow products. I've used my Dip Brow probably the first half of the month, and that was really all I used. But we had that day where we went swimming, and I just kind of needed to throw something on. And my Benefit Gimme Brow, I'm pretty sure this is waterproof or water resistant. I'm kind of thinking it's water resistant. It held up pretty well at the pool though, but I wasn't really like jumping in head first in the water. Like I was just kind of splashing and getting my face a little bit wet. But it held up just fine for that, and I've really enjoyed it kind of ever since then. It's basically what I've used since like the beginning of July, about the middle of the week of July. But it's what I have on my brows today, and most of the time I can get away with just filling them in with this. But every once in a while I do need like another little product to kind of fill in some places. Like the beginning of my brow, I don't really have a lot of brow hairs, so this kind of needs brow hairs to cling to fill in. So it's a little tricky kind of in the beginning of my brow sometimes to get it filled in nicely. And if that's the case, I just take my Rimmel brow pencil. This is in the color Hazel, and it works. It's what I have on today. I think it looks really nice. Like I'm really surprised by how much I like this combo together. So this has been like my favorite brow product for most of the month. Like I said, I wore the Dip Brow for the first week or two, and then switched to the Benefit and the Rimmel. So I have really, really, really liked that. Two more products kind of from that pool day that I want to talk about. I got sunburnt when we went. I made sure I put sunscreen on everyone else and not myself, which is, that's pretty typical. Like I am so worried about everyone else getting burnt that I'm totally forget myself. So I did get burnt. My arms got burnt. My chest got a little bit burnt. Surprisingly, my back and shoulders didn't, which is usually what gets burnt. But I got this in my Birchbox, and it kind of couldn't have came at a better time. It was the Key West Aloe Save a Tan After Sun Moisturizer, and it's 80% pure aloe. So I really don't care about the whole save a tan part. Like, I wasn't tan, I was burnt. But the fact that this was 80% pure aloe, I was like, well, aloe is good for burns. I'm going to go ahead and put it on. And this is like such a nice light moisturizer, and I think it really did help because when I get sunburnt especially, I get really itchy. And anytime I felt a little bit itchy, I just put this on, and the feeling was like instantly gone. So this was kind of just a huge lifesaver at that time because I can't stand being itchy. It makes me miserable and fussy, especially in the heat. And then to top it off, this has like a wonderful, amazing like coconut smell to it. Like I'm not big on coconut scents. This year I have been for some reason, but this I was like, oh my god, just give me the full size now because this smells amazing, and I will wear this as moisturizer even if I'm not burnt because this just smells so good. So I have loved this as a body lotion, especially helping with sunburns and stuff, and I think I'm gonna purchase the full size. If I save up enough Birchbox points, I probably would, but I haven't really saved up any Birchbox points that I know of. I have a few, not a lot. So I think I'm probably going to purchase that in a full size though, just because I really like it. The other product that kind of saved me that day at the pool was the Bliss Fuzz Off Foam. I didn't have a lot of notice that we were going, so I kind of had to just quickly get ready and Shaving my legs, I'm a typical girl. I'm pretty lazy about it. So I do it once every like 2 weeks or something, or once every, you know, a few weeks, whatever. So I wasn't really ready for the pool when we decided to go. And I basically sprayed this on, packed everybody's swim bags, got everybody ready to go. Right before we walked out the door, I went in the bathroom, took a wet washcloth, rinsed it off, turned on the tub, and just kind of ran my legs under it and just kind of washed any remaining residue off. And this got a lot of the hair off in, I would say, like 5 minutes. So it was nice because it was just quick, just spray it on, let it sit for 5 minutes while I get everything else ready to go, and then rinse it off and I'm ready to go. So it was really nice because, like I said, I had very little notice, and this just kind of saved the day a little bit, because otherwise I would have had to go to the pool with somewhat hairy legs, and that just is not appealing to me. So this really did kind of save my day a little bit. It's a little bit more of a pricey product though, so that's kind of my one complaint about this. Is Bliss is a prestige or higher end line. They actually do have like spas and stuff around the country, which is something I just kind of recently learned. This one I got for free from the vendor, the Bliss vendor that came to Ulta, but I don't know, I've just been debating on whether I want to purchase it again, because like I said, it does come in really handy for those moments where you're just like, oh my god, I need to shave my legs now. Like, I have something that just came up and I have to wear a dress, I have to wear shorts, whatever, wear a swimsuit. This is really nice for the just really quick thing, but I don't know. I think it's like $30-something, maybe even more, and it's just kind of pricey. So that one I'm a little on the fence about. I want to repurchase it, but I don't want to shell out the money for it, so we'll see. I know Sally Hansen does have, I think, is it Sally Hansen? I think it's Sally Hansen. They have a spray-on foam too, I think. I don't know if it's good or not. I'll have to kind of look into it, but the Bliss one is fantastic, and it smells like peppermint, so that's really nice. Some other favorites. This is kind of a Chicago one, but I got some Bite Beauty lipstick duos. These were with 2 of my Sephora orders. I got one of these with the Born This Way foundation, and I got the other one with the Jaclyn Hill highlighter. So these are, I think, the only 2 duos they have online, but I know my store has a couple other options. So I got Fig and Date on this one, and then this one is Tangerine and Lingonberry. I don't know how to say it for sure, but the Fig and Date one has been definitely the most popular one with me this month. This one I wore in Chicago quite a bit. I wore it swimming. I don't know, I've just worn it a lot lately. It's just, I really enjoy the formula, I guess, just because it's really moisturizing and the colors are pretty. So they're, of course, on the more neutral side. But this one right here is Fit or Date, and the more pinky one is Fig. So that is those. They're just nice, like my lips but better colors pretty much, and the only complaint I really have is that they don't last a very long time. The Bite Beauty lipsticks just seem like they don't last a long time on me, but I'm kind of thinking that if I pair them with a lip liner, they do last a lot longer, because I wore this one yesterday in Lingonberry, which is a really bright kind of purpley pink color. You can see it there, and I wore it with a lip liner and it lasted pretty much all day. The only thing is the lip liner does change it a little bit and made it a little bit more of a matte lipstick. And these, the reason that I love them is because they are so moisturizing and creamy. And I'll swatch Tangerine too. Tangerine I'm going to wear a little bit later this week. And that is like a really pretty, like it's got a little bit of orange in it, but it's kind of a coral orange red color. So these I've really enjoyed. The formula is great. I of course want to purchase more of these like Bite Beauty lipsticks, but I never know what colors to get. I get there and I just want to purchase like 10 of them. So then when it comes to actually purchasing one, I just can't decide and I just don't end up getting any. I think there was one called Sava or something like that that I really wanted to get, but if you guys have any recommendations of Bite Beauty lipsticks that are just your favorite colors and whatnot, let me know, because I, like said, I want to buy more, but I don't know what colors I want to get because I can never decide. So let me kind of know your guys' must-have Bite Beauty lipstick colors, because I need some suggestions. So now I'm kind of on to some unfavorites and some honorable mentions kind of thing. The honorable mentions, the only reason they are not favorites is because I feel like I haven't owned them long enough to actually say they are a favorite. I don't want to own something for a week and be like, oh yeah, it's a favorite. You know, it's something like the Too Faced Born This Way, where I've owned it the entire month and I've used it the entire month, where I feel like I can actually say it is a favorite. So I'm going to start with the unfavorite, of course. The Urban Decay Pore Perfecting Primer. I have talked about this several times and how much I don't really like it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm either going to pan it or give it away if I can find someone that wants it. But it just, I don't know. It's kind of like the Benefit Professional. It's a skin toned primer. But the difference is when the Benefit Professional comes out, it is a matte, like silicone feeling primer. And this is, you know, skin colored, and it kind of has a little bit of a silicone feeling to it, but it's shiny. And like I said, anytime that usually I look poreless, it's because it's like a matte poreless look. And this just, I don't know, it just feels greasy on my skin and heavy, and especially with this heat, I just really do not like the greasy feeling of it. So this has been kind of a big unfavorite for me because I think I used to like this. I remember I got a sample a really long time ago and I thought the Urban Decay Pore Perfecting Primer was like my holy grail, but I just never got around to purchasing it. And then when I got this for free from the Urban Decay vendor, I just kind of tried it and I was like, what did I like about this? It's greasy feeling. So I don't know, this is just a big kind of thumbs down for me. I'm really not liking it. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, but that is actually my only like unfavorite this month. Everything else is kind of from here on out honorable mentions. So the honorable mentions, like I said, is stuff that I've purchased recently and I'm really, really liking it, but it's not something I feel like I've used long enough to necessarily say it's a favorite. And kind of one of those things is the Anastasia Shadow Couture palette. I've been using this for the last almost 2 weeks now. I guess we're coming up on 2 weeks. Saturday will be 2 weeks and it's a little later in the week. But I don't know, I kind of looked at this palette and I was like, I'm not going to get it. And then I looked at it again and I'm like, you know, I really like some of those colors and they're actually, you know, kind of different from stuff that I do have. So I could kind of justify it a little bit. But today I have on Soft Peach, Morocco, Fudge, Intense Gaze, and Bellini. So I have Bellini on the lid. I put a little bit of Intense Gaze out here on the outer corner. Before I did anything though, I should say I put Soft Peach in my crease as like a blending transition color. Then I did Morocco and then I deepened it up a little bit more with Fudge. I have Bellini over the lid, Intense Gaze is on the outer corner, and I actually just did Intense Gaze along my lower lash line. But Intense Gaze was kind of the color that today I knew I wanted to use because it is just really creamy and really, really pretty. That one, and I used Chic yesterday. This one I wore on the lid. It's really, really pretty. It's like a silvery, I don't know, it's a pretty unique color to me. On camera I feel like it looks really silver, but it's, I don't know, it's got like a little bit of a, it's just not a plain silver. I don't know how to explain it though. It's really, really pretty. Pink Champagne I wore earlier this month. This one's really pretty. I think I want to put like a pink base under it though, just to make the pink pop a little bit more, because definitely when you look at it in the pan, actually even on camera it doesn't look that pink, but when you look at it in person you're like, okay, I kind of see the pink in it. But once you put it on the lid and you put it with other colors, I just feel like it kind of loses the pink effect. So I've worn that one. I've pretty much worn every color in here except for Metallic Noir. So I think I'm going to need to use those two a little bit later this week because, like I said, I've worn every color in here. Heirloom, I wore like basically very light shadows in the lid, black winged liner, and then I did this along the lower lash line. It was really pretty. I kind of did the same thing with Azure. I think that's Spanish for blue, but I didn't take Spanish. I took French and I barely know how to speak French. So anyways, for this I kind of did the same thing, but I did navy blue winged liner, and then I just lightly smudged this on the lower lash line, and it was gorgeous. I couldn't believe how much I really liked that look. So I've used Spoiled with kind of soft peach, Morocco, and fudge. I kind of did this little trio. Yeah. So, or I guess that was a quad. But anyways, I really, really liked this. The colors are really pretty for summer. And they're, like I said, colors that I didn't really have in my collection. Morocco is kind of a pretty, oop, it's down here, burnt kind of orangey brown color, and I didn't have anything like that in my collection. So I'm glad I do now, because I feel like it's a really pretty color that I'll be able to do a lot of different looks with it. So this is kind of an honorable mention thing because it's really, really pretty. Next are some products that I am really excited about, and I cannot wait till Saturday when it is like time to change my weekly makeup bag, because I am so excited to wear these. Kat Von D released some new liquid lipstick colors, and I went to 2 different Sephoras on the 24th, and neither one of them had the colors out. They had a couple of the colors out, but when I actually went to like the Kat Von D section, there was no like change. Like they just had all the old colors out. And the first Sephora that I went to was just the like standalone Sephora, and I walked over and I just kind of looked at the liquid lipsticks, and they were out of a lot of colors. And I noticed they were out of Lolita, which is pretty typical. They're out of a lot of stores are out of Lolita, and online they're out of Lolita. And I kind of looked, and I was like looking around the store. I didn't really see any. Like I said, they did have a couple new colors out. So I went and bought the Dr. Jart Dis-A-Pore, and I kind of said, do you guys have the liquid lipsticks in? Because it's the 24th, and Kat Von D's Instagram page said they were launching today. And she's like, oh yeah, we have them in the drawer, but we don't actually have them out yet. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, well, do you want us to pull the testers out, and do you want to try them? And I was like, no, because they were pretty busy. It was a Friday. So then I looked at my boyfriend. I'm like, can we go to the Sephora inside JCPenney's, which is a really short walk? And I was like, let's just walk to the other end of the mall and check them quick too, because I feel like they're a little bit more on top of new products sometimes than my actual Sephora store. So I walked down there, and they didn't have theirs out either, actually. Again, they had a couple colors out. Like they had Echo and Exorcism, Damned. There might have been like one other color out. But she said kind of the same thing. We have them, but they're in our drawer, you know. And then she kind of opened the drawer, and she's like, what colors did you want to look at? And like, they weren't as busy, so that was kind of okay with me. Like, I don't like to bother people if they're busy, because I don't know, just working retail, I don't want to be the person that takes up a lot of person's time and then doesn't buy stuff. But I knew I was going to buy some of these, and I kind of just asked her like what colors they had, and she was going through the colors, and there were a couple that I knew I really, really wanted. So she said Mother right away off the bat, and Kat Von D named Mother after a Danzig song, which is a song that I've grown up listening to with my father. Like, I don't know, it was like one of my dad's favorite songs, I think. And the song always just reminds me of my dad. So this one actually kind of has a little bit of sentimental value to me because she named it that. But the color is, it is pretty. Like, this is really, really pretty. I'm already obsessed with it, and I haven't even got to wear it. I've just tried it on, really, but it's really pretty. And I wore it last night just for a little bit, and I could not believe how much I love the formula. Plus, Kat Von D always has such fantastic, like, gorgeous packaging. I'm always obsessed with the fact that she does this black with like the silver roses. Like, it's really, really pretty. But there is Mother, just a swatch of it. So this I can already tell is going to be a huge favorite for me. But the other 2 shades I got, she said they had Bow and Arrow, which I was immediately like, oh, gimme, because I knew it was sold out online like pretty much instantly. I don't even think I swatched the tester. I was just like, yes, give me Bow and Arrow, because I know for a fact it's already sold out online, and I've seen way too many swatches of this to not want it. So I tried it on in this car, and I like it. I don't know if I'm a big fan of it yet, because like I said, I've only really tried these on. I haven't actually got to wear them yet, but I was insanely surprised that they had it. So it's a little bit more of a brown color. It's like a nice light brown color. I don't know. The lip swatches I've seen of this one, I'm so excited to wear it. So that is Bow and Arrow. And then lastly, I actually got an old color. I was going to get Echo or Exorcism, And then I happened to see that they had this one, and I was like, I better take the chance and get this now, because if I don't, they will not have it. I got the infamous Lolita. That like never happens. I swear every time I look at Sephora.com, they're completely sold out of it online. I've never actually seen it in stock on their website. Like I said, the first Sephora I went to, they were out of a lot of colors, and Lolita they were definitely out of. And then I walked into the Sephora inside JCPenney's, and they happened to have one sitting there. I was like, yep, that's mine too. So, like I said, I was going to buy Exorcism, and I probably will come back and get Exorcism and Echo. There's a couple other colors I want too, but there is Lolita, so you can kind of see it compared to Bow and Arrow. It is darker. It's got a little bit more of a mauve color with it. It's not quite as brown, so I'm really excited for this one as well. So those are kind of my honorable mentions, just because I haven't owned them very, very long. I've owned them since the 24th, and I've worn them a couple of times, but just trying them out, I haven't actually worn them all day, because I have stuff in my weekly makeup bag already, so I don't want to, I don't want to break my weekly makeup bag. So these you'll probably be seeing next week, because I'll want to wear them then. I also got Patina from Stila. I think that's how you say it. This I thought was going to be really similar to Lolita, and it's not, which makes me glad, because I bought this first, and I really like this one as well. This one is a lot more pink. So there's Lolita is kind of the darker one, and Patina is kind of the lighter, a little bit more pink one. On my hand it looks a lot more pink, on camera it doesn't, but I got that as well. So those will probably all be in my weekly makeup bag next week. And I think that's pretty much it. I do have like one more honorable mention, but this I just wanted to mention because it's really freaking cool. So Stila came out with these new Got Inked Cushion Gel Eyeliner, or cushion eyeliners. They're not gels. And one of my favorite YouTubers, that girl ShayXO, I've been following her for pretty much as long as I can remember. I've been subscribed to her for a really long time. But anyways, she did a video on these, and I was kind of like, they're pretty, like, but I think they're like $28 or something, and I was just like, that's ridiculous. Like, I'm not paying $28 for them. Even with a discount, it's, you know, it's better, obviously, but I was like, that's still just way too pricey, in my opinion, for a liquid eyeliner. And then she got to this color, and I was like, oh, damn it, now I need one. So this is a YouTube made me buy it moment, but it is this weird little cushion down in there, and I'm just pushing my finger on it, and that is Smokey Quartz. I cannot explain how much I really, really like this one. There it is swatched. It's really pretty, it's really unique, it's like kind of silvery, kind of gold. I don't know, I'm obsessed with it. So I cannot wait to wear this as well in my weekly makeup bag next week, because like I said, I am obsessed with this. I'm trying to think of what like eye look I want to do with it, but I'm obsessed. It is just too pretty to not own. So I'm kind of interested to see how it works too, because I've never used anything like that where it comes in like a little cushion. I know there's been like quite a few foundation products that come in a little cushion like that, but I've never used an eyeliner. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to work with like my brush and stuff, but I'm really excited. I'm hoping it works out really well. So that's kind of my last honorable mention. So that is it for my favorites. I didn't have a ton. I had a lot of, again, honorable mentions. I had a lot more of those than I think I did favorites, but yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.